Good evening to you, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Right.
Welcome
It's
to
good
this
to be
one.
here. Thank you very much.
Let's start with you, Palgrave Boakye-Dankwa. Give me your initial reaction from the statement.
Bright, a very good evening to you and to Habib and to your viewers. I think that these are very serious allegations that government cannot be blinded to. It's a deep concern that the respected lawyer, Martin Amidu, can really raise such allegations without any proof whatsoever to the leadership and integrity of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. We have been in this country. We have seen very well that elections are managed from the Electoral Commission with all political parties that are involved. If anyone on any day has any reason to think that any election is either rigged or not performed in the right manner, the Supreme Court has been the channel that we have used. In 2012, I recall when the NPP lost the elections, we went to the Supreme Court to get finality. In 2020, the NDC did the same. And so it is really a very serious allegations. And I think that it's important that we call the respected Martin Amidu to really bring the proof and the evidence, because he's a lawyer. In the law of courts, there is no way you can take anyone to the court without having evidence. And these are allegations that our government cannot take lightly at all. It's either he comes back to retract these words, apologize to the good people of this country, or to bring evidence to prove otherwise.
I'll come to you, but let me still stay with you, Palgrave Boakye-Dankwa. Now, I have here, and it says the two names in contention, Edward Kweku Asumeni and Nana Atobra Kweku, are said to be product of Dankwa Institute, hence a ploy by the president to facilitate his break the 8 mantra. True.
And another preposterous statement. If persons go to University of Ghana and they are products of University of Ghana, does that bar them from having an opportunity to work? The president is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. The president appoints the chief of defense staff. The president appoints the IGP. The president appoints all the heads of the security services. And so why are these two persons being isolated? For me, it's an issue that should not even come to the matter of the table to be discussed. These two persons have been working in the security service for a very long time. If Mr. Martin Amidu cares to know, Mr. Asumeni used to be the Deputy National Security Coordinator. And then also he used to be the head of analysis. And so this is someone who has been within the national security apparatus. I'm not sure whether Mr. Martin Amidu is aware of that. Likewise, Mr. Atobra as well has been with NIB for a very long time as the deputy director. And now the president has sought his wise to promote him. And then Mr. Martin Amidu says that these are cronies of friends and family. These are very serious allegations, and I don't think that the Ghanaian people at this stage of our development, and especially with the issues that we are being confronted with in the sub-region of West Africa, would have someone of his caliber and nature purport such high claims against the president of the country. I think that we should be able to disregard it with the greatest contempt that he deserves.
Adif Sani, now, when the president announced the appointment of this person to occupy this place, I spoke to here on this night. He told me that these appointments are politically influenced. Do you still stand by that?
Yes. And I saw it coming, by the way. I spoke with a number of friends within the national security. I told them it almost appears as if Mr. Asumeni is being groomed to take over. Because at the point, we're not even seeing General Francis Amanfo again. Even during what do we call it, see something, say something campaign, and visits to the north by the National Security Minister, you'd see Mr. Edward Asumeni, and it almost looked like General Francis was out of the picture, and so for me it wasn't surprising. But we need to ask some, fundamental questions. Okay. Has the president done anything illegal by appointing these individuals? No. If you have issues with it, then I think rather you should have issues with the Constitution. Because the Constitution currently in place looks like more like seeking to preserve a regime rather than preserve the people. And that is how it's almost been since the inception of the Fourth Republic, particularly perhaps Rawlings of blessed memory wanted to preserve his regime in the wake of attempted coups and the manner in which he came to power and all that. So you have almost the who and who of Ghanaian society appointed by the president, not just this president, past presidents who have come before him. Okay. Secondly, another question is whether we have proof that indeed this is to make them break the eight. It might look so on the face value, but in legal, within the prism of legality, they say he who alleges must prove, and that is what we are unable to do right now. But my issue has got to do with the fact that we have career intelligence officers who are already on the job for years on end, who have better operational know-how and skill set than Mr. Asumeni. I am not in any way opining that he knows nothing about security, okay? But I think that there are some individuals who are on the job, who were on the job, and who have done great things in the past. For example, General Francis has been within the security space for over 30 years. We have people like Timothy Coleman, who was the deputy at the NIB in charge of administration at the time. Nana Atubra was the deputy in charge of operations. Okay, so I think that we had more capable hands within the NIB and the National Security Secretariat who could have done a better job.
Aside these names you've mentioned, or the name that I've mentioned by the president, this is your last words I'm actually taking. Aside these names given by the president, who do you believe would have been better to occupy that space?
For example, with the National Intelligence Bureau, I mean, based on the information I have gathered about Timothy Coleman, I mean, I have a number of friends there. I don't know the gentleman in question, okay? But I have a lot of friends there who have, singled him out as a potential head of the NIB. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. And I think that General Francis, even though age might not really be on his side, could have still performed better than being at the Accra initiative. And I also find it quite interesting that now General Francis would have to report to his former subordinates. I mean, it's something that really doesn't make so much sense to me.
Right.
But that notwithstanding, there are some career people on the ground, but all is not lost. We have support mechanisms, and I'm hoping that they would support the two gentlemen so they can, achieve.
Thank you, Adeson. Palgrave, a quick one. Is this the start of the reshuffling Ghanaians have been asking for?
The president holds the right on who he appoints, either as minister, deputy minister, CEOs, deputy CEOs, MC, DCEs. The president decides when and how he wants to do a reshuffle. And we are very confident, as the president has stated, that all persons within his government, he has an opportunity to review their work every now and then. And I'm very confident that the issues that have happened in terms of the change is really important for government, it's important for the country, it's important for the sub-region. And I would like to state that the Accra Initiative, which was started as an initiative by the President Nana Dankwa when he was ECOWAS chair, was to be able to gather intelligence within the sub-region. And in what time and moment would you not have the former National Security Coordinator spearhead the leadership of the Accra Initiative under the office of the president?
All right.
Because we are in no normal times, especially when terrorism is on the rise. And I think that in every sphere of life, there is a moment of mentoring, regardless of where you find yourself. Countries mentor countries, and individuals mentor individuals. And so in that process, I believe that the president has made one of the best decisions that is in the interest of the Ghanaian people.
All right. Thank you so much, Palgrave. And Palgrave Boakye-Dankwa is a spokesperson for governance and security here in Ghana, and Adib Sani is a security analyst and also expert in international affairs.